Boom. Hey everyone, welcome back to BMX News Live, a live BMX news show that happens every Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week in the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about, because I think you might care, and not because anybody, except for the people in the chat sending super chats, pay me. Like the first one that already came in. Brooke, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it, and thank you for deciding to ride the Alienation Vice Grip brakes. There are a ton of people here already. 40 people in the chat already. Ohio MTB Todd in the chat. Deuce MS, a member in the chat. OG BMX 420. The scene's not dead. Brant's the name, shillings the game. Basically QVC for BMX. Buy this business card because I wrote notes on it. Oh, Champion BMX is here as well. Two Smoke Joke, Caleb Oni with the Caleb's Poll of the Week. There's almost 50 people already. Rex BMX, another member. Style and Switch, Kyle McDonald, all the way out in Ireland, I'm pretty sure. Kevin Zuba is here. Thumbnail explains why he's not aging. That's funny. The Karinsky fam, happy Friday, Moreheads. That sounds wrong. Keggy is here, the guy who makes these awesome thumbnails like the Nosferatu one that we have. CB the Third. Who else is here? Style and Switch was first today. All right, James Ovens out in the UK. London. Killer Steven. Squid Graphics. Hell yeah. So, first thing I want to do this week is I want to recognize and just say hell yeah to Darth Dre, aka Charles. Rides for Cult, absolute machine on his bike. Does some of the most awesome backwards grind combos, but also is one of the people out in California right now flying a helicopter and helping out with these wildfires. I don't think there'll be anything here where you can see it, but you could see in his stories recently. I don't know if he'll have had anything. Like, he's been posting stories from the helicopter. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's anything. There's one of them. Just got done with the Kenneth Fire, awaiting next orders. Like, dude's a real life superhero, and it's awesome. So I wanted to make sure that I took a couple minutes here and just said hell yeah to this dude, because not only is he incredible on his bike, but also with the job that he does, he deserves it. And he made this video thanking everybody for being nice to him and giving him kind words. And so you guys should go do the same, for real. Next, from the title of the video, it says even skateboarding is struggling. And I've heard through all the stuff that's been going on, people talk about skateboarding and whatever. And there's so many people in BMX who bring up skateboarding as if they're like within the skateboarding industry. And some of them might know what they're talking about, but I think a lot of them have no idea what they're talking about. And I saw this video pop up specifically first on my YouTube feed, and I had a couple people send it to me. And there's some stuff in here that is really good for everything going on to hear, and also some stuff to pay attention to in the way that this guy talks. So I'm going to play a little bit of this video so you guys can hear it. Just a quick clip from this video.
And he's like,
oh, sorry. I didn't have my screen capture on. My fault. All right, right here.
they were in like Amsterdam or something, like sales meeting, and he's like they don't want to resign you. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, did they say like why or what? And he's like, they said they don't really see value in what you do. Or no, it was they don't see where you fit in and they don't see value in what you do. And I'm like, interesting. All right. Because that's like the opposite of what I've been hearing from pretty much everybody else, Like, as far as like NHS goes and Santa Cruz, they are super stoked on what I've been doing and telling me how much value they see in it. And same with like you guys on YouTube or people watching my videos, people out, whenever I run into anybody, they're like, of course, maybe no one's going to say to my face like, yo, your shit sucks or you're an idiot. But like the vibes off of this whole thing have been pretty positive, at least like from my understanding. And the more I thought about those two statements, I think that they meant like maybe moving forward, right? Like they don't see where I fit in with what they're trying to do. And same with the value. Like maybe they don't see the value in what I do for what they're trying to accomplish, I guess. And from my understanding, I'm like, maybe that's just like the YouTube thing. Maybe they.
Okay. So I needed to give context here. I didn't do that before it started, but I think you could read in the title, I'm no longer skate for S, and this is why. So that was him finding out why he no longer skates for S. So I had never heard of this guy before, never seen any of his videos. I don't know how good he is at skateboarding, but skating for a shoe company for 10 years means you got to be pretty good. But hearing him say this, you hear the way that this guy talks about skateboarding as the sponsorship side of things, and you hear the way that he talks in terms of value and talking with the brand and being aware of these things. And it was just almost jarring to hear somebody actually talk this way. And so now I'm going to move forward. Where's my note? 1438. There's another quick thing that I want to play where he's talking about, whoa, that doesn't seem right. Is it 1238?
That's too much money.
Nope. 1338. Damn it.
Yeah, I don't think this is. I love those dudes. Like
Is it really 1438?
with like Lakai out of business.
Yep,
Right. Am I out there searching for a new shoe sponsor? Not really. The shoe game is so gnarly right now. It's just, especially with like Lakai out of business, all these dudes leaving Soltech or getting let go from Soltech. There is just so many pros without shoe sponsors. It's actually insane. And there's only like 5 brands that are even worth riding for sometimes. Like, to be honest, like there's only 5 brands that would even be worth trying to ride for. And it's just so competitive right now in the shoe world. So it's like, I'm not really going to trip on it too much. I'm going to try to skate shoes that I like.
So I just thought that was really interesting to hear where he talks about how there's only 5 brands that he thinks would be worth trying to go for, and how all these people are getting let go and companies under new ownership going away, whatever. And so the pool of people who don't have sponsorship in the shoe world and skateboarding is huge right now. And it kind of parallels to BMX, where we had Free Agent let go of all of their riders. GT as a whole entire entity making bicycles goes on pause. So all of their riders gone. We have some people getting dropped here and there or quitting other companies. And the pool of riders who don't have sponsors right now, frame sponsors, is huge. And I have to put my phone in do not disturb because people will not leave me alone right now. Anyways, the pool of people who don't have anything right now is massive. And that you can't fill all those. There's not enough spaces for all of those people. And so to hear this guy recognizing that while also talking about what he's doing, the value it holds, and what that means for a company, and how in touch he is with other companies and even the people who watch him on YouTube, to hear someone actually talk like that is almost weird, because people in BMX don't talk like this. And when I bring up the concept of understanding your value as a rider and what you're doing for the companies that you work with, I get criticized for it by purists who say all you should do is ride and you shouldn't have to worry about anything else. And I think that's part of the problem as to why things in BMX are perceived to be doing even worse than skateboarding, because you can't talk about the value, or else you shouldn't be worrying about that because all you should be doing is riding. And that's just going to make the problem worse. So I don't want to dwell on this topic for super long. I'm just pointing out there that this guy, professional skateboarder, I'm reading in the chat, he's a top pro in skateboarding. He's class pal. Tom's a good dude. He streams on Twitch. So hearing people talk about him means he's a well-respected person in skateboarding, at least from what I gather. And to hear him be a true professional about this, he is looking at this like a job. And that's probably how he's had the longevity that he has. And it just seems insane to me that people in BMX don't talk like this more. And I'm about to record a video after I finish up with the news to go live at 3:30 today. We're going to talk about a concept that I realized, and I think it's something important that people should recognize too. But it just seems crazy to me. So I don't know if anybody else sees things that way or not, but I think that we really should. And I'm not just saying everybody who rides BMX, because some people like to interpret it that way. I'm saying people who are supported by BMX and you are a professional BMX rider. I think maybe it's time to start having a few people act a little bit more professional and really think about these types of things and make it just acceptable to at least talk about it. Next, a clip from the 9 Club that I saw. Pro skateboarders need 3 jobs to survive in 2025. This is full clickbait. I put this in here and I kept it in here just because there is some really good stuff that they talk about in this. And let me find the spot here. I'll play a little bit of a clip from this too. But they talk about some good stuff in here, and they also have some of the same problems in skateboarding that we have in BMX, where the other guy who's sitting here with a Red Bull hat on talks about how when he first was approached by Red Bull, he had people telling him not to do it. And it was like, what? I mean, obviously this was further back in time before it was as widespread as it is, but it just crazy. Yeah, this is full clickbait. It's just this guy saying how he has 3 jobs, and then they don't talk about anybody else having jobs or anything like that. It was just, yeah, I saw the clip pop up and I didn't watch it until right before the news because I wanted it to be fresh. And then I realized it's not like fully what I thought it would be. So
That's interesting. I mean, that case in point right there. You know, it's like when we were coming up, also like there's way more options out there.
Yeah.
There was more shoe options. There was just more clothing options.
It was different.
So he's talking about in the past when he was coming up. And I thought it was interesting to hear that too, because it's the same thing in BMX. Before, in the mid 2000s, not the 90s, because the 90s are the time everybody says we're dead. But there were more opportunities available for people out there. And I just thought it was interesting. This is a decent clip. There's parallels in it. It's just not exactly what it appears to be. So, moving on from here, we have some super bummer, unfortunate news. Honestly, for Ethic BMX as what it was, as like a shop. But I think it seems like it's going to be good news for the guy who runs this. Recently received a job offer that's going to require me to travel more and work from home less. Decided the best option for me and my family are to shut the shop down. So it sucks to see this. I don't know if there was more to it than just the job offer, because obviously this is all we get and I'm not speculating at all. But it is news and it's something to put out there. And I saw someone else post that there have been a few shops that have closed recently. And it's definitely things that we should be talking about. I'm not going to dwell on this one either. It sucks for those people, and hopefully something else can pop up, eventually. There's 74 people in here. Thank you all for tuning in. We do this every Friday. Then I would talk about this shop right here, and how it was how it's closing, except for some weird reason years and years ago that shop blocked my Instagram page, so not talking about them at all. Moving on from there, we have news that the Peacedale Ramp Room is deciding to close down. They're looking for someone to kind of take over and keep it going. And I figured I would talk about this at the very least. I feel bummed about this because the guy who opened this at the wheel mill many times came up to me before he even opened it. He was like, oh, we're working on a skate park. And then at the wheel mill again, once it was open, he's talking about, oh, you got to come up. And I never was able to make it up there. I'm sorry for that. But I figured it'd be worth bringing up. And if you're in the area, they're doing some sort of jam. Where is it? I don't know if this is right. 16 and under freestyle jam tomorrow. Yeah. So they're doing a 16 and under freestyle jam tomorrow. If you are in the area, it's in Rhode Island. Now, I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom. Just getting all of the bummer, not positive news out first. There is some good stuff going on. It's not all bad. We had this post from Dead Bread just talking about how sold out of pretty much everything and how signed a new lease, I think at least for a year. I can't remember exactly what it was said because I watched it a few days ago, but it's good news. It's positive stuff being put out there, and I like to see this. And I saw last weekend, and sometime at Ray's, I saw a bunch of people with Dead Bread stickers on their helmets and bikes, so I'm glad to see this kind of stuff. Gotta highlight the good just as much as the bad because it all exists. Next, they can't be all bad if Matthias Dandois is now riding for freaking BMW. That's insane, right? Literally a flatland BMX rider who just retired from competition is riding for a huge car company. I feel like you could say luxury car company like BMW. That is incredible, and I really hope that there's more opportunity like this available. And if this can happen right now while BMX is where it is as an industry, then who knows what the possibilities could be. So congrats to Matthias. Then bicycle technology, man, these are just the highlights from this week. We aren't even to the videos yet. How amazing. It's a misprint. He's riding for BMX. That was a lot of whatever, like hype for just riding for BMX. There's almost 80 people in here. Hell yeah. Them foreign people got some wild sponsors that the USA didn't offer to athletes. It's our job as the riders to show our value and to understand our value well enough that you can communicate that and create enough value in yourself as a brand of you that you can communicate that to a brand like BMW and have them want to sponsor you and you have them want to support you. It's not the company's job to come and look for us. We got to go and look for them. Unless there was some sort of organization in BMX where you had like literal structure where you could say there's a organizational body and you had the riders under that and it was the organization's job to seek out these sponsors, and then that in itself would create a platform where these larger companies could go to that organization. I'm literally just thinking about gaming and paralleling this to gaming, because gaming has these organizations and then they have their gamers under those organizations, and then it's the org's job to go out and connect with these larger non-endemic sponsors. And that's why you see gaming orgs like Optic or Phase or 100 Thieves and those giant companies, like 100 Thieves specifically, doing collaborations with like Pokemon and these giant things, having huge sponsors, because as a larger entity, you're able to have that power because you have these people underneath, the gamers, who then have created value for themselves because they're on the internet, they're creating these YouTube channels and social media things that millions of people want to watch. Well, the org takes all those numbers, makes it into a presentation that a company can see, and then that makes it so once there's precedent, oh, this org is working with this giant company, now other bigger companies see that, and when they're able to go back and forth in the value in it, then it's able to make sense, and you'll have larger companies going to that. But because BMX is totally singular and BMX companies don't really think that way, or maybe they aren't able to think that way, or maybe it doesn't work that way, you don't see a larger company going for that. You know what I'm saying? Doug, I would love to have an agent, but I talked to a sports agent and my numbers are not big enough for it to even make sense, apparently. So that's why I'm trying to learn about this stuff for myself. And I think it's totally possible for a company to maybe not just think of themselves as a BMX company, but to also look at their riders and figure out like, okay, we have 10 riders and these 10 riders have a cumulative 1 million Instagram followers. If they have a YouTube page, they have this many subscribers. Now let's take that and let's try and figure out some way that we can work with a bigger company and maybe do a collaboration where, all right, now they're making a video or they're doing an edit or whatever they might be doing that would actually make sense for everybody. But even like, I used gaming as an example. I just watched a podcast from a few months ago with the owner of 100 Thieves and the guy who started it, and then another guy who works with them. And even in the gaming world, the value proposition between the non-endemic larger companies and the value that the gaming people bring back to them doesn't line up. And some of those bigger companies are starting to pull out of that realm. And it's crazy to see that, because people who have gaming YouTube channels and they stream on YouTube and Twitch and wherever else are bringing in like massive numbers. And so if as BMX riders, you don't see even remotely close to those numbers because BMX riders may not have a YouTube channel. They may not have that kind of a following on Instagram. It's like, how could you ever even think that a larger company like that would want to do something like that? And that's where it is the BMX riders' responsibility to create that value if you even want that. That's the big thing too. It's like, me talking like this is for the people who want those things. Not saying everybody needs to be out there doing it. If that's not what you want, then you go get a different job and you work that job and you'd be happy just riding your bike. That's totally fine too. But if that's what you want and you want to succeed and you just want to BMX riders, well, then maybe there's other avenues to take a look at. So either way, I don't know how I got off track with going to talk about technology and BMX or product things. There's this crazy new fork that Viking BMX Titanium is introducing, Halo technology. So it says suitable for BMX freestyle and racing. Results are lighter weight, stronger design, and more reactive. Besides the functionality, we love the look of it. So it's this totally different looking fork. And I think it's investment cast similar to like a chainstay yoke would be. I think that's the way this works. I don't know for sure. It looks crazy to me. But what I do think looks really good is the junction of the steer tube and the headset here. If you guys want to know how much it runs, we're going to have to like just pull it up and see if it's what? I'm confused. It didn't want to open. That was weird. Let's see if they have it listed yet. Not on here yet, but shout out to Alienation because they sell some Alienation rims. That's cool. Looks like we don't have that as an option yet. Is there anything on their page about it? I don't see anything on here yet. So I guess we don't know yet is the answer. Either way, I think this investment cast concept could be big. And we see investment cast in freestyle. We see it in dropouts. We see it in the chainstay yoke like this that then gets welded on. What I think is interesting is this part right here. The junction between the head tube and the fork. I think this could look really good if it was done in other ways. And I think it's interesting that we don't see more of this on freestyle forks already. We see it in the dropouts, like we're saying, but we don't see it at the part that like usually ends up breaking if you see a fork break. It's somewhere in here. And so it's interesting that maybe we'll see this moving forward. Obviously you can investment cast with 4130 or chromoly because they do it on frames already. So I think it could be interesting. And just because this one looks like this doesn't mean they all have to look like this. You could more than likely investment cast in a more traditional looking fork, I would guess. I think you can just do whatever shape you want. And so maybe in the future we'll see forks with a junction like this that is investment cast instead of being welded right here to maybe make the point of weld go from being on the steer tube and welding the fork legs to it to maybe this is all investment cast and then the fork legs get welded down here. I don't know. We the People did a fully investment cast frame. It didn't do well. A lot of people broke them. Interesting. So maybe it's already been tried. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see as this goes forward and if it even makes it any further. If this never gets seen again, then that means it sucks and it doesn't work. In the product realm, though, it's awesome to see that Linda Grabner has gotten a signature We the People colorway on their on which frame is it? Trigger frame. So Linda Grabner signature color on the trigger frame. Pretty awesome to see. There's some information up on the Bloom's website, more pictures where you can see it, and check it out if you want to. So moving on from there, there's more news. We haven't even gotten to the videos yet, and it's been a half hour. How crazy is that? So much to talk about this week. Jamie Bestwick posted that he is going to be the new USA Cycling BMX freestyle coach, which is pretty awesome. And it makes sense. He already lives right by Woodward. And when he was the coach for the British team, you saw Charlotte and Declan Brooks at Woodward all the time. So between here and that spot in Utah, I think it does make sense to see this. Damn, almost 90 people in here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. Cool to see this for Jamie. Wondered what was next when he posted he wasn't going to be the coach for the British cycling team. And then when we saw that Ryan Nyquist would no longer be the USA cycling coach, some people probably put it together. I didn't, but glad to see this for Jamie. Next, I'm putting this in the highlights because it's a highlight. The final Corn Hucket edit that I put together is now live. I posted it this week on Wednesday, and if you want to check it out, you can on my channel. I have it in the description after the stream ends here. The final corn hucket, as much of a bummer as it is, it was the perfect send-off, and I'm really happy with the way that these highlights turned out. Then moving on from there too, I want to highlight, make sure everybody knows about the Middle of Nowhere contest, April 12th. Put it on your calendar. If you're going to compete in pro, it is a $5,000 pro purse. First place gets $2,500, and we're still 3 months out from this. So if more people want to be sponsors, then you could see that purse go up even higher, which is amazing. So there's 90 people in here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. And I forgot to turn this on. I'm sorry. It's on now. Thank you again. So then also, Trevor, my buddy in Cleveland, I don't have a link for it or anything for this yet because I haven't made the flyer yet. But Trevor, who organizes the Chenga contest, told me last night he locked in the date for the Chenga contest in Cleveland, Ohio. It is going to be April 26th. There will be a cash pro purse for that as well. Don't have a specific number yet for that, but Trevor figured out a product that he can use to mop Chenga with and scrub the ramps to make it not slippery anymore. So it only lasts for like a month or two, but he's going to be able to do that right before the Chenga contest. So you don't have to worry about it being slippery. The Chenga contest is always a really awesome time. So if you're even remotely anywhere in the area, put it on your calendar. April 26th, Chenga contest in Ohio. Then we finally make it to the videos from this week. The first video is with Josh Wingate in a video called Flowers, street focus video. And just gonna have to check it out. I watched it, but I can't remember it. In there too. There you go. It's a Coke beer mixture. Concrete degreaser. Then we've got Paris and Blake Peters in Odyssey guest list, shredding the full factory ramps. Paris and Blake killing it. Coke and beer cancel each other out. 70% of the time, it works every time. Weird. Also, in the chat, the Karinsky fam on Huck's YouTube channel, Huck has signed with Huffy for 2 more years. Pretty awesome to see that. Huck working on flip whips last night at Ray's. 10 years old working on flip whips. Incredible. So in super no-nonsense real deal street riding, we have a promo for the Strange Ways Volume 6 video. Gonna be out in a few months on the internet. Watch this. It's exactly what I described, and if that's your kind of thing, check it out. Well put together. Lots of night riding footage. Looks like it's gonna be good. And then also another one similar in style. We got Animal and 80s Mike Yup in a video called Safe. Dude does a pole jam to turn down in here that was absolutely beautiful. I gotta pull it up. Where are you at? I can't remember how far into the video it was. I really enjoyed watching this one, and dude kills it. Man, I'm not gonna be able to find it. The turn down at the end was proper though. I don't want to play the last clip. I'm gonna find this pole jam to turn down. Where's it at? Where is it at? That spot looks incredible too, by the way. Come on, turn down. It's a super quick clip, so it's gonna be hard to find. I was just stoked on it because it was a fully clicked turn down out of a double peg pole jam. Man, you're just gonna have to watch it, I guess. Unless it's right at the beginning. Nope. Oh, there it was. I saw it. I synced it. There we go.
Flavor, uncontrollable behavior with some psychopathic
turn down,
tendencies.
overclick, boom, off the PJ. Loved it. Then we got Adam Huff cementing balance in a probably the most well put together, well filmed, well edited, just well done video of the week. Him riding in India is just a nice culture and riding experience to watch this one. Then we got Saviors Lonely Fire. So it's China's first rider-owned parts company, which I thought was pretty cool. And so there's this video they put together. Then also, I went to their Instagram page just to check things out a little bit, because I was like, well, first China rider-owned parts company, we got to see what's going on there. So there's their Instagram page, and then they've got a website. So I didn't go through anything here. Let's see what they have. Fork cap, headset, spokes, sprockets, stems, titanium parts. What? Oh, crank spindles, stems. So they've got some, bro. Hold on. Is anybody else thinking what I'm thinking? I mean, it's a little different. It's different, but still very, very similar. I'm not saying it's getting paid by China. Not anymore after this. All I'm saying is it looks very, very similar to the animal stem. But does the animal stem have the recess for the fork cap these days? Also, Adam Ortiz, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Aren't those all just solid stem clones? Looks like animal. BMX parts are sick, period. Yeah, it's great. Solid BMX stem. I don't know, man. Let me look. I can't find a great photo. Maybe? Solid one's different a bit. See, the thing about this is, it's really hard to make something. Yeah, that's totally different. It's hard to make a BMX stem look different than something else. No, because recessed bolts are stupid. Why are the recessed bolts stupid? I'm just curious, because I haven't really thought about it, and I never thought they were stupid, but if there's a logical reason, then maybe there is, and I just didn't know it. Moving on from there, Stranger Charles Littlejohn Bling. First clip in this video will hook you to watch the rest of it. So this is what I'm gonna pull up. This is all you need to see. First riding clip of this video will make you want to go watch it. So good. Might be my favorite video of this week. Feeble over 180. Maybe I'm saying the name wrong, but that is nuts. And he nailed it perfectly. So check it out. This is an awesome video. Oh, he doesn't like them, and anything he doesn't like is considered stupid. Fair enough. Then we got Shocker BMX Shockadelic 2024. Another video from China, the Shocker BMX crew in Hong Kong. Next up, Horseman Marc-Andre Bellemare 2024. Loads of technical street riding with just the right amount of steez. 3 Smith 3 was a highlight for me. So I'm not going to lie. I ran out of time. I didn't get to watch any more of the videos from this week. But I'm putting it here so you can watch it and tell me how it is. Then we got Joel Barnett here. And there was something written about this. I don't remember where it was at. It was saying that he was a rider that maybe just didn't get the love he deserved in his time in BMX. I didn't get a chance to watch this one yet, but it's longer. It's almost 10 minutes long. So if you want to watch a longer video, this is where you would start. Stems with recessed fork bolts were cool when you had to have someone do it and it was custom. Now every stem comes with it and it's not cool. Gotcha. Okay. Next, Riley Smith, the most casual pro. It's raw BMX street from his Can We Just Talk video. It's up on Grant C's YouTube channel. Over 10 minutes here, just over 10 minutes, so check it out. Bring back spacers on top of the stem. That's why Presley is so sick, because Presley has spacers on top of his stem. Actually, don't. That was ugly. Damn it, Noah. Can't do that. Let's see. Then we get to the much longer videos this week. We got a 30-minute video from Bristol, UK, Muckers. And there is a long rider list here. Check it out if you want to. So, what else we got? More longer videos. 37 minutes. The King of BNE video from Lux BMX is also there. I used to hate cutting forks, so I rode them a lot. I have spacers because, one, I'm never going to cut a steer tube that feels like I'm going to make it break just by cutting it. And two, I have a gyro, so I need that space. Let's see. We get into the interviews type things. It's not an interview, but there's a lot of talking, and it's a really solid game of bike. It's Bruno Hoffman versus Boyd Hilder at the street plaza in the Source Park. Really good game of bike, and you may have an idea of how this one goes, but you may be completely wrong too. Then we've got Canode Knows Part 2 with Nate Wessel. Nate Wessel is a legend, so here's 2 more hours with him. And then if that's not enough, you got 4 hours with Ronnie Bonner on the Unclick podcast. This one was solid. They talk about so much stuff. They talk about everything that you could possibly want them to talk about, from Ronnie's history and things of that nature to his current health situation, which nobody wants to talk about at all. Then they talk about the Source BMX merger. Fudger does ask some good questions in here. There may be still a couple more questions that I wonder about with it, but for the most part, it was well covered and talked about. They talk about industry stuff. They talk about BMX and working together. And they talk about all of these things that definitely make this a really good listen. And I think you should check it out. Some of you guys never had your bike roasted on Bike Guide, and it shows. Some of you guys should have never cared what anyone had to say on Bike Guide, and it shows. That's my point of view. So then we go into the More BMX hashtag, where I'm going to pull it up on here as well. We got it on both the phone and the web page. See if there's anything new. Kurt Schmidt tagged it, and it actually showed up. Kurt Schmidt tagged something that has been posted as many weeks ago as almost as there are days in the year. 326 weeks ago. But this is awesome. I only care about what everyone says. Damn, we might cross 100. If we cross 100 people right now, that would be insane. Is there anything new in here? This looks 1 week ago. Adam Ortiz owns the More BMX hashtag. He uses it more than anyone else, and his stuff shows up more than anyone else. There's one, there's one. There was the ones up top that we already talked about. There's another one, there's one. There's another. Here's more. Oh, just kidding. Look at that. It actually showed up. OGBMX 420 in the chat. Your post showed up. Some bikes hanging up. Old Fit Bike Co. banner. Dope. I'd love to see a more close-up look on these bikes next week, maybe. That would be cool. Anything else that is actually new for this week? Oh, look at this one. New stem on here. Titanium bolts, I assume. Shoo! Seen Presley use the tag a few times. Well, that's why we bring it up on my phone too, to hopefully have them show up. And if they don't, then I'll go find it. Wow. Oh, just kidding. Are we getting all of them now? We got a lot more though. Here's one. Kevin Zuba. Slip and slide. This took too many tries. Sliding down, getting to double peg, pulling it out, and he had a, what do you want to call it? A relieved tone into what he said for how long it took him. My rusty BTM will make you cry, or I'll be stoked just to see it. Here's one. Austin Schumacher. Oh, we already talked about it. The backflip off of that kicker. It's really sweet. We just already talked about it. Already talked about this one from Zenki. I don't know how I didn't like it though. Or is this newer? 5 days ago? I don't see. They don't tell you when anything's posted these days. 3/4 of my BMX wall is fit poster. That's awesome. Hitting some jumps. Love it. I wish that would load, but it's just not wanting to. My best of 2024 Instagram post that somebody else posted on their Instagram page. Horrible. Saw that one already. All right. Let's see here. Let me pull up Presley's Instagram page. And if anybody else posted in this week, just send it to me on the Instagrams. Noah, you're funny. Let's see. In here. Yo, thanks for putting it in your story. Is it on this one? Hot dog it is. So this one's pretty cool. I probably should have remembered to talk about this anyways, but Nick Bruce did a little get-together thing and is starting a weekly thing, like a clinic where he's helping out younger riders at Ray's Wednesdays from like 6:30 to 8 or something like that. I would check in on it just to make sure the timing's right. But yeah. So Presley's been killing it. He killed it at the Slam City Slam Jam. Look at that, almost getting his tail whips down. Love that. Man, he's so close. I didn't quit, I just don't ride. That's funny. Nick helping people out. It's just awesome to see that. And it's only going to help the scene locally. It's going to get kids stoked, create lifelong BMX riders. It's awesome. I'm sure it was on this post too. A little tabletop Tuesday for the gram. Youngest rider at the jam. How cool is it that there was Presley, who's 9, and then there was Scott Town, who was 15. Was it Scott Town that was 59? Yeah, I think Scott Town. 59. So a 50-year age difference in the riders at that jam. That's incredible. Let's see. I just got a message. I think somebody. Aha. Another one for the More BMX tag. Huck killing it at Ray's last night. Can the step up. Knack the next one. Down whip the one after that. Back flipping the heavy pedals box to slight case. But just killing it. Kid's insane. Trying flip whips into the foam last night. It's awesome. All right. So now I'm going to pull up the events from this month. We got to talk about events this month. Probably should have talked about that first. But there are a bunch of events and you can find all of them in the Time BMX app. And if you have an event that you want people to know about, put it in this app so more people can know about it. But if you don't know Time BMX, they have an events calendar. We'll go into that first, talking about all of the events from this month. Today at Ray's, there is a preview for the Animal Type Shit DVD that's going down tonight. It's starting at 11, I'm pretty sure. So if you're in the area, check it out. Then the Sprack Roast Jam in Louisville tomorrow. The YTG Girls Jam number 2 in Australia tomorrow. Vulgar BMX, you do need to make a Rays trip. Then we've got the Ohio BMX Trail Series at Rays tomorrow. Not really an official jam or anything, but just getting everybody together to meet up and have a good day. And there's people from all over the country at Rays right now. Probably in a couple hours. But it's going to be a good day. The Greatest Holy Ghost Street in Vitoria. So that's going down in Brazil. Bruce BMX Foundation After School Program in the Time app. That's Wednesdays. Birth of BMX Freestyle Movement book launch in California the 17th. One Love Jam the 18th. Roasta Mesa Jam the 18th. All of that is in California. Also the same day, we've got Kickstart Jam in Germany. State Championships in Australia. Then the 22nd, the next Bruce BMX Foundation After School Program. BMX Triple Challenge Round 1, Anaheim, California, the 24th weekend. That same weekend, the S&M and Fit Day at Rays is happening the 25th. Make sure you come out to that. I'll be there. Chris Moeller will be there. Chris Doyle will be there. The Potosny brothers, all the Hallahan clan, as well as Van Homan, all going to be at Rays. It's going to be awesome. And then I think the Wedgwood Jam is getting moved. That was also the same day, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't heard back for sure on that or seen it posted. But I think it will be. Then the next Bruce BMX After School Program. Then the 31st is BMX Triple Challenge Round 2 in Arizona. Tons of events. But then also, this app has a skate park atlas of the entire world, where all the bike parks, skate parks, bike shops are on this. And every week I pull up this random skate park from somewhere that someone puts in the chat. So first person to put a location in the world, I'm going to zoom in on it and find the closest skate park and just see what's there, because it's kind of fun to see what exists in the entire world. And maybe, just maybe, one day we'll do a video series where I work with the Time BMX guys and I go to somewhere random with this app. Could be really fun. I like a good hacksaw, a new blade, and that park guide thingy, busting out the file and dialing it all in. Feels like it looks the best in the end, except a pipe cutter. Matt, why would you pick California where everyone knows? I'm going to go to India because India is more interesting to me. We did India. We did India last week. Ha! Greenland. I picked Greenland. Sorry. There might not even be. Not a single skate park, bike shop, or anything shows up in all of Greenland. Iceland, however, does have something. Ashcroft, BC. Where does that even exist? I'm going to have to Google and find where the Ashcroft, BC, and find where it is on the map so I can then zoom in on it on this. So I think, it's northeast of Whistler. So, Vancouver, Ashcroft, where you at? So Vancouver, then you go north, and then you get to Squamish, then you get to Whistler, and then you go northeast, and you find nothing. Unless this is it. Mount Curie. I guess this is as close as you're going to get. There's a bike skills park. What is this? Oh, it's a jump course. Nice. Okay, this counts. Look at that. Look at the beautiful mountain view. This looks incredible. Smaller line, medium line, bigger line, then biggest line. Make Greenland BMX again. That sounds hilarious. But this looks awesome. That Fresno park is looking better now, huh? Everybody knows that park though. So this is cool. This is why I do this. It says pump track, but it's definitely just a bunch of jumps and there might be a pump track there. But that's cool about the time map. You can see stuff like that. And then there's also a racetrack. That's what it looks like in this town. Let's see, Pemberton BMX. Yeah, it's a track. Not the same place, but still. So with that, let's just show the social media aspect. You can post videos. You can put where those videos are located at, raise, and people can post their stuff on here. It's pretty awesome. Brady Baker's on there. Logan Martin's on there. Colony BMX is on there. George from Greece is on there. It's awesome. So, with that being said, it has been an hour of BMX news. Longest one in a while, just talking purely about everything going on and all of that good stuff. So, isn't it an interesting one? There's still 76 people in here. I appreciate all of you guys. I'm going to go eat some lasagna. I'll see you at Ray's tomorrow and for the S&M and Fit Day. And I'm excited. I'll have some unboxing stuff for another news video soon. And I appreciate everybody who's here, everybody who watches, all the members, Adam Ortiz, Vic, Rex BMX, the Karinsky fam, and Deuce MS, and everybody who is a member. I appreciate all you guys for supporting directly. The super chats, Adam Ortiz and Brooke, I appreciate them greatly. It helps me keep doing these videos and news every week and being able to do what I do. So thank you for watching, and we'll see ya